Maryland, if you go to Bovada, it'll tell you we don't provide this in your area. So it's like even the illegal shit is hard to get here, dog. That everybody else has.
I mean, like that's the thing. Like, I'm trying. Like, the one thing that like really piqued my interest with like just like trying to trade and stuff, trying to do something like that, is I was just trying to figure out ways. Let's say you like, I say you do like schooly lifestyle, or like do like some type of traveling lifestyle where you're moving around, you're like a nomad and stuff. You would want a passive income, or you need some type of passive income. You know what I'm saying? And I think it'd be a good way to do it. But I also feel really dirty participating in the system. But
it's very dangerous.
But if I was to get rich off something like that, I would also feel like, yeah, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I hear you.
You motherfuckers.
It's dangerous to rely on that as your income.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. But that's what I think. I think once you were to get up there, this is my problem, bro. I don't understand. People will like turn, a grand into like 15 into 30, then eventually make like, a couple $100,000. But then they keep trading options. And I'm like, I don't get it. I'm just like why would you move into something a little more,
brother?
I guess long term or something, but gambling.
You know what the funnest part about it is? The thrill, dog. It's the thrill, So if you're talking about you're one of them guys that turned 15 into 30 grand, dog, you fall in love with that,
So the biggest one-day trade, not one-day trade, but the biggest trade I made, where I netted my most on like one move. I played the S&P 500, and I pretty much betted against it. And this was when it was like pretty much tanking pretty hard. I ended up tanking a decent amount, bro. And I only had one contract. I think originally I spent like $200 on it, and I ended up selling it for $600, and $400. I'm sitting there, and that's like one day. I'm just like, hey. I remember the first time I did it on Carnival Cruise Lines. I remember I bought one for like $22. That thing I ended up shooting. I ended up making $200 on it, bro.
Damn,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just
that's
like
tenfold.
But that's the one where like I remember it jumped the day before, and the day after it had went down. And I'm just like, shit. I remember I lost out on making like $300. I'm just like, I got greedy, just trying to wait out. And go for it.
Yeah.
I remember I told you about that, and then I remember like the next day it went back down or went back up, and I saw it go up to like 200. I was just like, fuck, am I waiting around?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you some questions about that, because I was probably next Friday going to try my hand on some options. And I just wanted probably to be sitting down with you just to go over what it is, really to understand the profit of it. But there's also another question that you probably can answer is like, so if I buy a call, right, and my call's for, let's just say X company for 10/31 to hit 70, right, at whatever, right,
Yeah.
And I hold that call all the way to 10/31, and it does hit 70. It's at 77. Yeah. What happens?
So if you look at the option, there's a point where it shows you on the day of expiration the price that has to be to break even, and pretty much just break even and move on with it.
Is that what I bought the call for?
Yeah,
I bought it for 70. That's what it is. They don't try and add nothing to that.
So let's say you had, and if you look very closely, by expiration, a lot of times the break even, it doesn't, like, let's say it hits 70 on your day of expiration. You're still technically losing some money because there's a break even point, and usually that's like around like $1 and some change above your call price.
That's what I thought.
On expiration. So if it hits that break even point, then at that point, your option's still worth the same amount it was at the time, that you bought it for. So
you could get that back.
So you bought it.
You literally broke.
You bought it. Yeah, exactly. You bought it for 50. At this point, it's still worth 50 because a lot, like what you can do, you can exercise it, buy those shares at whatever price, but no one ever exercises the shit.
But I bought it at 70 and it hit 80, and I kept it call. I didn't sell it. What happens?
So there's a couple of things that factor into it. It all depends on how much time left to expiration. If you have less time to expiration, it'll be worth significantly less.
I'm saying when it expires. I'm saying it expired. It's 10/31, right? I got this call. I don't have to sell it, right?
And at the end of the day,
and it hit 80. Yeah. I had a call for 70 on 10/31. 10/31, it closed at 80.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you still would probably want to sell it because at that point, it's probably worth more than what you bought it for.
That's what I understand though. How am I still selling the call that's expired?
So it expires at market close.
Right. So 1031 market closes.
No,
and it's at 80.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. It closes.
4 o'clock. Right. Okay. I thought it was 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that's
4
what I'm saying. Okay. So 4 o'clock it closes and it's at 80.
Yeah.
What happens to my
And you
account?
didn't sell it.
And I didn't sell it.
So typically, if you have the money in it, what they do is they would automatically exercise it for you, and I believe buy those shares at that contractual price.
At 77, at 80.
You'd buy because the contract's for the call price of 70. So you would, I believe, from what I understand, no one ever lets them go to exercise. So I don't know as much, but from what I understand, what happens is that it exercises. You buy those 100 shares or how many contracts you have worth at the $70 stock price.
Uh-huh.
The contracts you did for it.
Right. So they got me still.
Yeah, and you don't have the capital to buy those shares, because let's say it's $80 $70 a share. You need 100 shares, you need $7,000 to buy those 100 shares or whatever. So it would then expire worthless on expiration date.
So nobody ever lets it go full term like that? You always sell it?
Well, it depends.
I don't understand who you're selling it to. They're buying it for that day then, right? If you sell it that day, they're buying it that day,
cheap,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So some people might just buy it, be like, oh, maybe it does, eventually. Maybe it does shoot off, at noon. If there's something that could really, send it off or send it down, people will buy it because at that point it's significantly cheaper than what you bought it for, usually at expiration. So like most people, by the time that they get the expiration, if it didn't pop off yet and they're not making money, even if it's worth maybe $5, a lot of people may just let it go to expiration because a lot of times people may not buy it. There may not be enough volume on it. Let's say you're still $20 off your break-even price. It's usually there's no volume on it because there's literally no money to be made, So a lot of times
taking that loss.
A lot of times you can't even sell it. So a lot of times they will just go to expiration, expire worthless, and then you move on to your next one.
You made zero.
You made zero. You lost all your money on that thing.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's why an option's dangerous.
Yeah, because you can lose. You can come out with nothing.
Right.
At least with a stock, you can. You may lose $30 as long as the company doesn't go bankrupt while you own it.
Right.
Then you're coming out with something.
I just picture I'm never gonna sell unless it hits something crazy.
That's how.
You know what I mean?
The stock.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sell it.
Oh yeah.
It can go up to 100 and I'll keep it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep it, bro. I'm not gonna sell it.
Yeah.
Keep it forever.
Yeah, I got you, man.
I'm gonna keep buying them. Try and get like 100.
I got caught talking. But
won't be the first time, right?
Yeah, so
won't be the last.
Like a lot of times, like me, especially with this past week, a lot of times, like I was thinking, especially because I was playing with such little, I only played with like $100. So I'm sitting there and say I bought something for 30. I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, I think I might even lose more money on it. Especially like especially this week, like I'm like nervous, stressful. I'm trying to overplay shit. I'm just thinking too much about stuff. I'm trying to settle back in. So like I'll just roll out of it and try to roll it into something else real quick and be like, hey, maybe this is a moneymaker, because sometimes it can be advantageous to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Call your losses and do it.
But in your case, you're even saying like maybe you're doing a little bit too much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because it's really tough. Because when you're playing options, what you're going to see is that there'll be days where you will come out on top. There are days where you do have some losses, but you still have time for it to be profitable. So like when you're sitting there and you're looking and you're like, oh shit, I lost $250 a day on this option because I got, 5 of them, whatnot. But you may still have 3 days or even till next week to do it, to really have that time to let it go up and make at least some of your money back or whatnot. Mm-hmm. So, you're literally looking at yourself losing money and value. But
you got to hold on.
It's a hard part because you're looking at that and you're just like, oh shit, it's sinking.
Right.
But you really got to worry about your time. And this is one thing like this week since I was playing with so little, I was going for like really short weeklies, like stuff where like, only like a week span or a week out because they're really cheap. It's like with the time base, it's really cheap. And then, maybe I could, flip 15 to 50 and then turn that 50 to 100, type of deal, So I'm looking at weeklies and when you have especially when you don't have time, like the way I look at it, it's like, okay, especially with theta, which is the time decay Greek, like it's Greeks I was telling you about, the 6 Greeks that make up options pricing as far as like, also with like intrinsic value, extrinsic, whatever. There's a number assigned to theta, and that's your time decay. So pretty much every day that it goes by, you didn't pretty much sell this option or whatnot. The higher the theta gets closer to the expiration date. So like, you could go into the next day and you might make some money, but be offset by your time decay. Because now you have, let's say, especially in weeklies, now you have only 2 days left until your expiration date. So you do get a little chunk taken out, but I mean, it really minimizes your gains the next day. So they're the most volatile and hard. I mean, typically the harder one is plays because you need a lot of capital to play with a lot of things that would give high return. So like there are a lot of people because you can day trade if you have $25,000 in your account. You can do day trades. That's a huge advantage for people because I could enter in on this thing real quick, $4,000. It rises up for 30 minutes. I make, I come out making $4,000 profit real quick or some shit, or even $2,000 profit. I day trade it, I'm out. With Robinhood, you're only allotted 3 day trades per week. So you either got to be really efficient with your day trades, or you're going to get caught up in something and be locked out because you won't be able to day trade it. You won't be able to sell it till the next day.
Right.
Then the next day, you lost money on it. So you're like, I don't want to sell it. It may go up tomorrow. And then you wait till tomorrow. Then it, so either sell, goes down deeper. Yeah. So like, that's the kind
What about if you buy the thing you got? Do they give you more day trading? Or you got to have $25,000?
You got to have the money. You got the money amount. It's a strictly money requirement. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So,
people are just flipping these little couple grand here, couple grand there all the time.
Or you get or they do this penalty thing where they mark you as a pattern day trader, and then they like limit the shit that you can kind of buy and play with. And I think it's really silly, but I mean it is what it is. You just gotta work your way around it until you got $25,000 to do shit like that.
It's funny because I just want to ask for stock for Christmas. I'll take a call option on DK. January 5th.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like I think especially like
it's fun gambling, ain't it?
It is really fun, bro. And like, bro, but I mean, like when I made money, it was just like fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck you. Just like you just want to sit there and be like,
that was a buck.
Fucking
we're going to the strip club.
200, 600, bitch. I'm loaded to the tits. Like
I'm fucking pushing it.
Exactly.
The market's bearish.
And especially someone like me,
and I'm a bull.
You put 200 in Monday, and by Thursday you made 6 and sold out. You're just like, bro, that's
I want to take your money and right away.
Yeah. It's
what money? You got to pay taxes on that?
Oh, 100% capital gains tax. Yep. But
it's
also a capital loss write-off. So,
so I'm doing great.
Yeah, but there's capital gains tax. I believe the capital gains tax is 30%. That's usually the rule. 25 to 30% of your earnings you want to hold to the side for taxes that you at the end of the year.
How would they know?
Well, you put it in your Social Security account when you linked up with the app.
So you think like if I buy DK for 50, I sell it for 65, I make $15. You think they're coming for $3?
No, so for I understand, until maybe not, but I mean until you sell that, you really didn't make any money on it. You know what I'm saying? Once you sell that and then you get the money in your account, that's when it becomes a capital gains thing. But from what I understand, if you take that and put it back into the stock market, it won't be taxed. It's not that you got taxed for selling it and then making money on it. If you put all that back in, the taxable part is when you start putting, taking it out and then taking it out from the app. And then that becomes then income to you.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely what makes the calls so lucrative. Is because, like we said, we don't really have the crazy and big gains.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but like for me, I'm trying to think like the long run. I'm trying to think like, man, I'll put $1,000 into DK. You know what I mean? And if that thing can shoot up to 222 and 220, 2-3 years, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd have like a couple $1,000.
That's the thing. It could pop off really like any fucking time.
Right.
So I mean, like, that's why. That's the thing. Like, all I want to do is like use the options to like get some capital.
Yeah.
And then I'll move into I'll like the whole thing.
Buy
is, like,
stock.
I want to get a more well balanced portfolio where like you start you
want
gather
this-
other things, you know.
Like that's why I like
I'll still do options.
that's
you know,
why
but
I like
want-
the DK investment so much because it felt like one of them investments where it's like, okay, it's never gonna go below what I bought it at. I just know that, and if so, it's got to be years away. You know, like they're not gonna blow this much capital and go below
Yeah,
this.
so I mean, I read a couple things on it. So from what like the low min for it right now is 39, and the high is 79 for everything. I think for like the rest of 2020 or so. So I mean, like at any point, you know, but I mean, most people don't see it going below, you know, the 39-40 mark.
That's
you
what
know,
I'm
so-
saying. I just don't see the loss there.
And that's the thing where like, you know, like I don't know, it's so weird. Like you when you look at this shit, like stocks do hit a point where like it's weird where like you see this like resistance point where like it'll either go up and it'll be like 28, 29, no 28, nah, and then it like kind of like just won't break that mark. And it's weird how like it just like kind of like I'm not sure if it's because like, you know, like people were like, you know, it's just like a equal force of people buying and selling, or is it like, you know, is the market just being like, oh, you know, no, it's definitely not worth below this, like, you know, but you know, it's I don't know, I like I
A
wish I
lot
could
going
understand
on,
the
right?
algorithms,
But you know, if something big comes to the company, it is going up, and if something bad comes to the company, it is going down. You know those two things.
That's what's weird though. What I've learned, especially recently, a lot of times you'll see with like earnings, unless you're expecting like blowout earnings reports where like it's like, oh, they doubled what they were expected to make. You know, you could show a strong quarter, but usually what you'll see is a run up to the earnings. It's like, oh yeah, they had a strong quarter, yeah, and then you know it's a run up, and the event happens, and then you get a fucking quick ass sell off. You know, because people just take their profit and run real quick. You know, just like, oh, run up, sell off, boom, oh, it starts going down a little bit. You know, so it's like earnings events can be fucking weird and like you know, like it's just like just when you think you understand what something means, you just something other happens. You're just like, oh, this shit's illogical.
But if you hold on, you're thinking no matter what, it's coming back. It's gonna come back.
That's generally the case unless you have someone that you know is bleeding money. You know that's usually the only time you see something where it's like that's when you know you start seeing it, you know, really take a shit, or if like America's like in uncertainty is going really bad. Like I remember with coronavirus, I mean, you saw that quick ass dip it took, but like I mean, that's the whole thing. Like even though it took that hard ass dip within, you know, 3-4 months, we were pretty much right back where we were. It's just like, and that's what people are saying. Like you know, when it comes back, it's going higher than pre-COVID levels, man. It's like, you know, the stocks that do recover, like tech. I mean, that's been in the news real big recently because literally, bro, shit like like the tech stocks have just been fucking popping off.
I was reading
bro.
what you were saying,
Stupid, bro, just popping
and just carrying the market.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so the American traded ETFs, you know, like they're literally carrying futures, which is like typically what you typically look to futures to give you a broad exposure to a lot of different parts of like of the American economy, like Nasdaq and Dow and S&P 500. Those are the ones you see on the ticker in the morning a lot, because that gives you the broad spectrum of like how, you know, America is financially. So when you see the Dow up, or when you see especially with the S&P 500 up, it's being carried on the back by these fucking tech stocks right now, bro. Like it's like they've been literally I mean, like besides September, I mean, I think they're up like, you know, some of them 25% or some shit like that, bro, which is pretty fucking ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think it is?
I don't know. You know, I'm not sure. I mean, I would like to think, you know, there's a lot of government interference into that type of thing to prop the market up. But other than that, you know, because I mean, like, at least to me, it doesn't make sense why it would do that type of recovery. You know, I mean, we're still in the COVID era, you know. So I mean, like, I mean, like, the only thing that really hasn't recovered are like cruise lines. Even I mean, they recovered a little bit, and airlines. You know, airlines and cruise lines are just like.
But the airlines about to get another bailout.
Yeah, hopefully, you know. I mean, like that would send them up a little bit, you know. That would send them so.
Yeah, I was reading on.
They're not doing anything separate though. For what I understand.
Thank God I didn't buy anything, but you know I'm still not giving up on my Airbus, bro. And it's funny because they just actually got a huge contract,
Yeah.
that space contract to go to
Yeah,
Mars.
they're building the rockets.
But it
and
really
shit,
don't
yeah.
do much.
It
Doesn't
didn't,
really do
man.
much
It
for
really
them. They didn't
didn't.
get a single order in September.
And
That's horrible, bro.
yeah,
When you build them for a living, you get no orders.
that's what.
But there is supposed to be like 100,000 of them that are due, or 10,000 of them.
Yeah, that's
But
the
companies are holding off on the purchase,
yeah.
which makes sense.
And they've been pretty stagnant too, and so has Boeing. You know, Boeing's been pretty stagnant as well. But I mean, that's the thing that also pisses me off.
That's
is
what
like, you
Boeing
know,
needed.
like the 737 is like was approved in Europe. You know, to
Boeing
like,
needed
start
a
taking
break.
off again, or eventually start taking off again. I'm just like, bro, like maybe they fixed their problems, but like maybe it's time to go with someone else. You know, because I mean, I think the whole thing with Boeing mainly being the go-to is because it's a big American company, and I think you know a lot of that might be like kind of like I don't know, not necessarily favors to the U.S., but like yeah, you know what I'm saying, just like oh yeah, we'll go with Boeing, you know, just
Well, they do a lot. I told
Yeah.
you they're also the biggest
Yeah.
in welfare.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
yeah,
Very funny.
but I mean, like it's a very disgusting for me. It's a very disgusting part of like you know like what the world is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause it's this whole made up.
It's a big
construct
sham.
that just makes profit and
But like
ah,
to those people or those places or those companies that fucked up, COVID was the best thing that ever happened because like everybody did kind of forget about shit that was going on pre-COVID, you know, like the Boeing thing.
yeah,
Nobody really cares anymore. They're not even flying, you know. So
Yeah.
like kind of good. You know, like if a fighter gets KO'd twice in a row, you take
Yeah.
a year off, you know.
But
You
I
get
mean,
your
they
name
did-
out of the
and
spotlight for
also
a second.
lose half their valuation. You know, it's
It's
like
horrible.
they're-
But people
Yeah.
forgot about shit failing on them and causing crashes.
no, yeah,
Same
yeah,
thing with like
yep.
Brian Callen. People forgot about the Brian Callen and the Chris D'Elia accusations.
Yeah, it's also
You
true.
know what I mean? Because of COVID, it's like that's not even a thing no more. Ari
Yeah,
Shafir, he's cleared.
yeah,
Ari's clear now.
all that's done with, bro. But I mean, like that's the thing they say. You know, they say like I mean, especially if like you could do two things, like especially if like you're like someone like I don't know, Diddy or some shit where like you'd make like some type of public apology or something. Where it's like with like Calvin and like Ari Shafir, it's like they can kind of just like keep their head low, stay low a little bit, keep under the radar, and then it just blows over. You know, it's not TMZ, it's not R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like-
Ari and Chris D'Elia did that, but Brian was trying to like do that different thing.
Oh,
where
yeah,
he was like,
yeah.
"I'm coming forward."
yeah,
He was like, it got corny because he was like, people told me when things like happen like this, you should just keep your head down
yeah,
and let things blow over. But I'm not doing that because this isn't true.
yeah.
You know, I'm just like, if anyone did it, you're the most pervy looking.
Well, that's the thing. Like he's also not like the biggest guy out there. So like, you know, it's like a lot of these podcasts,
he's
like
not
most people won't even
C-list.
see. You know what I'm saying? Like he won't even see.
But he was
No.
on a TV show at the
Which
time.
one was that?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh yeah, exactly. I don't know
Yeah,
what TV
but
show
it
that
was
is.
a TV show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people might know him, you know, but I mean, not enough for it. Just blow away, just like it, you know, it's doing. And I mean, no, there won't be anyone really trying to get to the bottom of that one because like, oh, Brian Callen, it's just not selling. You know, Ari Shafir, it's just not selling. You know, it's like
I mean, with Ari, it had nothing to do with sexual allegations. Granted.
exactly. Yeah,
That was just what he said.
he just did a terrible.
Did you see that fan that got beat up for saying "fuck Kobe"?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Can't do that, right?
yeah.
Why
yeah.
do that?
Why would you do that in LA?
Why
Yeah.
would you do?
I
Why do
mean,
that anywhere?
But I think,
dude?
man, he's like that one guy we ran into where it's like you're just looking for a fight. I
Yeah.
guess, you know? Like you're looking for something, whether you're drunk or not. You're just looking for a fight. You want to
Ari
scrap that
Shafir
night.
wouldn't say that.
Well, because first of all, he's a little smarter than that, you know.
Yeah, that
That's
guy
just
had
it.
to have some drinks.
That's just awareness in that situation. It's like I'm in LA. It's like I think of that one meme where it's like, you know, when you try not to say something. Fuck Kobe. He just gets his ass real quick. You know, just like he told all his friends, he's like, I'm gonna be in LA screaming, fuck Kobe. Like
It's so I'm glad that we all kind of come to a common agreement there that we're done with the LeBron MJ debate. Like we don't want to hear it
I'm
anymore.
not participating in it, you know.
We don't
But
want to
people-
hear it.
I don't want to hear it at all, man.
But
I don't
it's
hear
like,
the shit.
but then it's like, why do I even listen or try to debate people like Reek, who doesn't know anything about basketball? You know, like why was I? Why I'm like once he was that, I'm like most of these people that say that they don't even know basketball. I'm not
Yeah.
even saying that I know like an expert, but Reek like saying like MJ didn't play defense. Like, come on, dog. Come on, dog. Like
Yeah,
that just shows your lack of knowledge on the subject. You
That's
know.
the thing. Like, I also don't have like, you know, the knowledge as well to like really debate it. But I also don't care to. I'm just like, okay, whatever. They're both cool. They're awesome. It's like when people are sitting there like, it's like Ronaldo, Messi. It's like, bro, I don't give a shit. I like both of them. They're cool. It's like one's short, quick, and nimble. The other one's like really tall and athletic. Like it's like they both fucking get it.
Yeah, they both get it. Let's just debate when they play.
Exactly.
We're debating what team's gonna win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like when they're playing, it's like when it's playing, it's like okay. Well, yeah, what's LeBron going to do against the Heat, in Game 3 right now? It's like, yeah, I'll talk about that.
None of it
But,
adds up,
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, LeBron goes. It's like
that's like what they say in like in MMA. They're like MMA math never adds up. Because guys will be like, fucking, how's Steven gonna beat Mike Newell? Steven fucking fought Leonard Garcia to a 3-round split decision and won. Mike Newell knocked him out, first round. Steve fought, Steven Crowder or whatever, and then didn't take him out to the 3rd round. Mike Newell took him out in the 2nd round, and like, well, I don't think how he's gonna last if he's not, it's like that shit you can't do like that. Don't add up. There's too many different factors.
Yeah.
The generation, the team, the teams they go against, the rule set. The salary cap, the TV, social media, playtime, health.
You give another generation or two what we talked about another GOAT, bro.
Yeah.
So you give it a couple more years, we may see Patrick Mahomes being like, oh, maybe better than Brady. I don't know. It's like you're gonna see that shit. Whereas like before, it was like, oh, Tom Brady kind of has held that unanimously because of whatever dominance, and then you get Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers up there with them.
People debated it for a while with Joe Montana. They'd be like, "No, Joe's better. 5 times, never missed." It was the MJ argument.
Yep.
And then Brady just won again and again.
Yeah.
Then he got another ring. Then
and they kept going and kept going.
Yeah, he just put the argument out of it, which is like what LeBron's trying to do.
Exactly.
He's trying to make it like, bro, I won so many times.
That's the thing. Like we can debate. I mean, like even before MJ got around, the people were probably like, "Bill Russell, 11 rings? It's like no one's ever going to top that." It's like he puts 2 rings on one finger when he wears one.
Yeah.
So then, like every generation, that's why I also don't care. It's like okay, this right now it's LeBron and MJ, but I mean, like 20 years from now, it'll probably be someone completely. They'll be like, "Oh, they're better. He's better than both of them." Fuck LeBron and MJ. This guy's the fucking way better.
It's always that asterisk, like when they say like Will Chamberlain, and then you see like I seen something before that was like the 2nd tallest man in the NBA when Will Chamberlain was playing was like 6'6", and he's like 7'2". You know what I mean? There wasn't nobody else that big. It was like something crazy like that. And so like you never know,
Exactly, man.
That's like when they debate the baseball. It's like how can you even debate baseball when they admit that they changed the baseball? Once they admit it was a different baseball.
Exactly.
How do we even debate stats before the changed baseball?
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
Exactly. And then you also have like the differing lengths for like minimum lengths for like a home run in different stadiums.
Yeah.
Also different altitudes.
Dude, I always said that was so weird.
Bro, different altitudes too. In Colorado, way easier to hit a home run than anywhere else.
And people love Oriole Stadium because it's a hitter stadium. They said they're like, oh yes, a hitter stadium.
Exactly.
What the fuck? We didn't make it mandatory that, like, of course you're gonna want the place where you hit a lot of homers.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it don't make no damn sense. Have you been following baseball at all? Do you follow baseball at all?
Not too much, no. I mean, like, I just never followed it. Never. No, I wasn't a big follower. Like, I like the Orioles. But I mean, like, for one, it's too many damn games.
I follow it. I agree. I follow it like half-heartedly, So, like, I follow it, but I don't follow it in depth.
Especially once we lost Manny, it's like I don't like baseball no more.
Fuck Manny. Manny doesn't run out ground balls. If you ever don't do that for $25 million, get the fuck off the field. Okay, but this is a little story I want to talk about, which is like Clayton Kershaw. You know him?
Yeah. I know a lot of the names and stuff.
It's pretty sad, right? Because like he's one of he would be basically in the conversation of like greatest pitcher of all time, but he's postseason. He's just not good, bro. Like, he's not average. He's bad,
Okay.
So, in the regular season, like, he's one of the most dominant pitchers of all time. Like, 200 strikeouts, which is like a milestone, multiple times and shit like that. Well, when he gets to the postseason, bro, something just happens, Joe, and he's just not as good, bro. I don't know what it is, but he just gets hit. So, 2 days ago, the Braves are up 2-0 on the Dodgers in a series of 7. I believe. Yeah, series of 7, I believe. Um, well,
No, my bad. I'm just trying to share it. That's all. I mean, like,
Braves are up
okay.
2-0. 2-0 on the Dodgers,
Yeah.
right? 2 days
Yeah.
ago. So this guy Clayton Kershaw, who, like I'm saying, one of the most dominant regular season pitchers ever, but bad in the postseason. He's supposed to pitch,
Oh shit.
and he gets back spasms, yo. He gets back spasms, right? So they're like, okay, last minute they got to put somebody else in there. They ended up winning the game. They won crazy in like the first inning with like 11 runs or some shit. Won the game, but
Oh shit. Yeah.
right. So then yesterday they're like, okay, Clayton, can you pitch? You know, your back's still hurting. So he's like, I can pitch, you know, but it's like something up here, you know. So he's doing all right. 6th inning, gets rocked for 4 runs, bro, and loses. And it's just such a sad story because he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time and can't get it done in the postseason, man.
That's all. So I always,
But just real quick though.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, so think about that, right? But then think about guys like Eli Manning, right? No, nothing special in the regular season. Joe Flacco in the regular season. But when he gets in that postseason, he gets it done, right? And he's known as one of the best. You know, well, not one of the best, but like he proved he got it done. You know, where like you can get it done in regular season, get all the MVPs you want. You got to get the chips. It matters.
Yeah. So what I was saying is like I always thought about it, especially being like a professional athlete. It's like so at any point, you know, what I mean, like for like especially on the scheduled NBA season, you know, and the playoffs and stuff, you gotta be prepared and ready to play through that whole time. And you gotta come up to these games, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and ball the fuck out or do whatever you gotta do. And I always thought how insane it is for people just to like be able to like show up, like to be so strong mentally, like in these moments, to be like to be able to expend that much energy, in something like that, and just preparing for this task. It's just crazy to me, bro. It's just like, man, you because like there'll be days like I show up, I'm just like, oh, I feel off. But like for them, like they'll be like, no, shake it off or whatever, or they may really feel off, just gotta go and get it done anyway. And I just think it's crazy. It just seems insane to like,
and I don't, I am this guy, but I don't want to sound like this guy, but I am this guy. But like, think about how, dude, that can't happen in MMA.
Yeah,
that can't happen in boxing. You know what I mean? You can come out as an NBA player, NFL player, and do bad the first quarter.
Yeah.
Come out the second quarter and do great. If you come out and do bad the first round, you're going night, dog. You're going to sleep. There is none of that, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they've been debating recently is like, are these fighters doing better because of no crowds? Like they're just in there and they're not playing off of the crowd's emotion so much. They're really going for their game plan. You might be doing your game plan, crowd starts booing, you stop. Try to make it fun or something, not let them affect them. Or is it the opposite way? Some guys want that crowd to be like, and go, and they don't got that, and they don't look the same.
Yeah.
I guess it varies for certain people, but I just thought that it's very crazy right now. Like, I've talked to you before, but I just think it's very crazy. Like the UFC is literally flying the best fighters from all over the world to Abu Dhabi to fight in an arena with no fans. Like it really is like some Mortal Kombat type shit. You know what I mean? It's like Peter Yan from Russia, Jose Aldo from Brazil, Israel from fucking the Kim Kiwis, like Dill from England. Like they all sent their best fighters and just scrapping here with no fans. It's just so crazy.
No, it's definitely weird, bro. And I mean, like, of course, I do think people will be returning to, sports like that. But I think it has a huge effect. Because I was thinking about it as well. I was just like, I'm looking at, like, the NBA bubble. I'm like, so, like, technically there's no home court advantage, I guess.
No.
You're just fucking balling out here. Just like, it's like, oh, this game 7 goes back to LA. Oh, it's like, it's not like that. It's like, oh, it's game 7 in the bubble.
And it's not even home court advantage because you're going to the same hotel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's not like they even got to come to your city or something.
I mean, the only people that might be cool are like the Magic in Orlando just chilling. Like, but, what's the other one? This one work? Whatever. But I was like, it seemed like it was just like a whole different playoffs, a whole separate playoffs, man. Like, there's none of that. Like, And also, it's like I remember I was watching Premier League, and like Liverpool, like they're like Anfield, whatever, and they say it's like one of the toughest places to play because of the fans. They're just going fucking wild, and I'm like, okay, well, you go there, is that just automatically nullified? Like you don't have that to go off anymore. Like it's, I
Right.
mean, like it definitely is a huge game changer for especially like athletes. Like someone who feeds off that thing, they get a big hit, and they're just like everyone's like, oh, and they just come up like just going crazy. Like, is it the same? When you, without crowds, when you come up, is it the same? Because you don't have no one cheering you on. Is it the same?
Listen, I don't know, right? I just keep going back to being that guy, but like, all I know is like, it's just, it doesn't really matter in fighting, like it doesn't really matter. Like, that's why I'm so interested in the UFC fight's going to be great with Ortega versus Zombie. But after that, the Lomachenko versus Lopez fight, that's basically like, that's kind of like the Canelo Floyd fight at 135 pounds. That's like what that is at this time. It's like this young gun that's probably going to be the best in the future at that division. And then the guys just like to go right now, and they're so fucking like there's so much that have been said both between them. Fix that. Where, like the guy Lopez, the young gun, he's just talked a lot about Lomachenko's family, saying like he's gonna end basically the Lomachenko name and shit.
Yeah.
And like, them Europeans, bro, they don't play with that shit. And after that,
this becomes a family name.
yeah, and then Loma's just like, okay, if that's what he's saying, he's gonna pay for that, And this guy Lopez is confident. He's like, you come in here, whatever, brain his mouth in.
Right.
Today they were at the press conference and like they're supposed to stay 6 feet apart. They both just go underneath of the ropes and like get face to face. It's just like, it's just so different. Like it's not Messi and Leonardo coming out for the
definitely.
It's like
incomparable, bro.
These guys and they're both trained by their dads. Right, so that's I think so cool. It's like literally family name, bro, versus family name.
Bro. Yeah,
it's like what I mean. The O'Doodles. What was it? Remember John Paul's son?
Fuck, I can't remember.
John Lacey's son.
Yeah, you fucking the fucking damn, I can't remember it, bro. I can't remember the Joyces. The junkie Joyces.
Rat poison I gave you. I'm gonna fight. I'm not gonna do you wrong. I'm gonna do you right. I'm gonna fight the son. Then I'm gonna fight the second son, and then I'll fight George Hodge.
I'll fight the brother if you want. Yeah, man. I like. That's the one thing, bro. Is like I understand like the fighting is like a next level type of like sport, man. Like boxing. I mean, even when like people were like fucking doing like Olympic judo, it's just like, man, I just can't beat this guy. Like I just can't out judo this guy. It's just like when you're doing like a 1-on-1 and it's really like man to man, woman to woman type of thing. Especially like not like tennis. It's like whatever.
Or like
tennis.
even anything, right? Like cornerback versus wide receiver.
But it's like that's what I'm saying. Like I know MMA is like different and way way more aggressive and way more violent compared to like judo. But still, it's like, this guy just keeps getting me on the hip, bro. It's like, any of
the combat sports like that,
sports, exactly, man.
Where
even
it's like
Olympic setting, it's like,
where it's like, if you're a cornerback wide receiver and you get beat on a route, it's like, okay, it hurt. I don't want to because of your pride, but at the end of the day, that guy didn't take your manhood, right?
Yeah,
or like someone put you out, he took your manhood. It's like, right,
Mm-hmm.
like fuck, man, on camera, and like think about that guy that got spinning back kicked, bro.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna say that for the rest of his life.
You took home less money.
Yeah.
You took home less money. Like it's like
you took half your check home, and he got a bonus.
He gets fight of the night. He got a bonus.
He got a bonus.
Of that. A bonus on top of bonus.
Yeah.
Off you.
Yeah.
Like, gosh, shit,
bro.
So I mean, I get it, and like that's like, it's so fucking like tough. Like like the LeBron mental in the finals. Cool. But that mental to go in that octagon in that ring and like throw hands with someone, and it's like, oh, okay, you didn't do good. well, you got a swollen eye right now because you didn't do too good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
But like we were talking earlier, like I brought it up because like we were talking earlier, where like you got to always come out as your best day, right? Well, like even MMA, you're not always going to be your best at that time, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you still got to find a way to win that night,
Yeah,
right? You still got to find a way
exactly,
to get that double money to make sure you don't get that L.
And the other thing with fighting is like, okay, maybe it's for the title, and you may get another title shot. You know, maybe like it's like a big one, and you get like, you know, Stipe and DC2 and stuff. You know, you get shit like that. You know, you make it into like a fucking, you know, a trio. But when you're coming up in the fight and you're trying to make the name for yourself, or maybe like you're already a name but you're not quite that title contender, you get a fight. After this fight, you may not get this one. You may not get another fight.
Contract.
Either that, or you know, your next fight's not for another fucking 9 months. So it's just like you gotta keep that hype train. You know, it's
but
like,
on top of that, like the best thing for them is that, like I was telling you before about that show Thrill and Agony that shows in the UFC, because when the fans are there, their families are there, bro. And that's the toughest shit to watch, bro. You know, like you go watch, like say your nephew starts doing it. You know, you go watch your nephew go out there and get KO'd in your fucking front row. And it shows, for some reason, they do that fucked up camera angle where they put it right in front of both families, bro. They put it right in front of both families. And like,
they put a ringside.
The worst one ever was Cody Garber's family. The second time he fought TJ Dillashaw, because he already got knocked out by TJ Dillashaw once. Mm-hmm. And the second time, his brother's just like you can see he's just so hurt, for his brother. Like, damn.
Yeah, because he wants the best for him, bro. And bro, I know it's one we talked about before, but like I remember they brought up on the Joe Rogan podcast with Usman when he was talking to Willie's mother, and his mom was just like, oh, y'all, you're the champion now. It's okay, baby, it's okay. They'll be coming for you next. You gotta be ready. It's just like, man, like
that's what's crazy.
Man.
With those champions, like when Anderson Silva, you see, like when Anderson Silva lost the first time he lost to Weidman, it's because he was taunting them. And they say that like he was bored of being champion. And like they say the same thing about GSP. Matt Hughes admitted it. A lot of these guys say it was like when you're champion, everyone below you is coming for you. So you're worried about everyone. When you're not the champion, you're only worried about the champion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're a champion, though, you're worried about everyone. Like everyone's your fucking enemy. They're all coming for you. It's like, and then like GSP talks about, he's like, man, I did that shit for 7 years. 7 years of like feeling like everyone was coming for me. He's like, at the end, I didn't even want it no more. He gave the belt up. And he's like, I didn't even want that feeling no more. I just wanted to be like, you guys can fist fight.
You guys can fight for it out. Everyone's come beat my ass.
So with that Buckley KO, that spinning back kick like that was a big debate on ESPN because that guy Scott Van Bell, he shared it and was like, this is gruesome, the way his head hit the mat and shit. And it does bring up the argument of like, why are they doing that, right? Like, why are you doing this to yourself,
fighting,
bro?
like,
yeah,
fighting and stuff.
Yeah, because I don't mind the fighting part. I don't like that Dana White's a billionaire and the fighter gets $12K.
Yeah,
like that's like when Tyler's like, why do you care about what they make? Like that bothers me. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Can't tell you about it. It'd be any sport. I don't want somebody not getting what they want. And I look at something like that where like you have the gravest consequences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll do the same thing for NFL. Like NFL, bro, contracts aren't guaranteed.
Yeah.
But basketball and baseball are. And you're talking about a sport with the most injuries. Your contract should be guaranteed. It's the same thing.
That's why, like, when I saw someone like, when I saw people like, they're just going hard, on Le'Veon Bell when he's doing this shit with the Pittsburgh Steelers and stuff. And he's like, bro, I'm like number one in everything. There's never been a sack on the field when I'm on the field. I do my blocking, I do the receiving, I do the running, I do everything. I'm doing whatever you want. I just want the money. I'm just like, look, why everyone wants to criticize this guy, but all he wants at the day is his secured bag for doing what he's doing. I'm just like, I could give a fuck less because like they're making fucking millions on this shit. It's right. Like I want, like when I say a human getting battered, in this type of form, it's like, who am I to tell him what he wants for putting his body on the line?
Right. People go, oh, it's millions. Well, they're getting billions. So you should get paid equivalent to. And people that said that about Bell, you don't understand football. Like that's what it is when I hear that, because anybody who knows football knows running backs have the shortest life in the NFL. It's 3 years on average, right? When you come into the NFL, you're on a 4-year contract.
If you don't get injured.
They can pick up your 5th-year option, bro.
If you don't get
So
injured.
listen, so you're on a contract for 5 years that you have no option but to sign.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Off the jump. You're only supposed to be in the NFL 3 years on average. So now you're in a contract for 5 years and they franchise tag him twice. So for 7 years, he can't negotiate his contract. That's insane, bro. Who in their right mind would want to go to work right now and work for 7 years with no raise?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Oh, you only get a raise if they give you one.
And you're producing
at a top level. You're the best in the fucking business.
Bro, you're
for multiple years.
Bro, I'm the workhorse right now. I mean, I'm the workhorse, and I only get that if I don't get injured.
And people want to talk about Bell's injury. Once again, you don't know football because anybody that knows when Bell fucked up his leg, bro, it was a dirty hit by Vontaze Burfict, who got fucking fined 10 times in the NFL for dirty hits. He used to tackle legs and then he would spin. They call it a gator roll, where they land on your ankle and then they spin it and try to roll it up, basically.
Dirty,
it's dirty. It's dirty, bro. They just did the same thing that's happened to Chris Carson by a guy. And that's what happened to him on the side. That's how he fucked his knee up. He's not injury prone. Someone did a dirty move. It was cool, though, because Chris Carson, the Seattle backs, the Cowboys defensive tackle, Hill, did that to him. Did a gator roll on him and fucked his leg up. And then 2 weeks later, tore his ACL or his Achilles.
The guy did it.
Yeah. And you're just like, dirty bitch.
Yeah, exactly. I won't. When people are out here, and it's like they just want to like bash athletes for doing this or that. And there's like, oh, you're getting paid this, you're getting paid that amount. I don't know if anyone's played sports consistently, like especially the older you get. I mean, like you're playing football, you're hitting that ground, you're getting hit, you're getting beat up, and you do that for fucking a couple weeks straight. You're doing practice and shit. It's like I don't care if these guys want to get the money and get that bag, because like I said, at the end of the day, the people profiting off of it aren't putting their bodies on the line. So fuck it. And so, the whole thing with Dana White, and I thought fighters got paid more until you really brought to my attention. You know what I'm saying? No one knows what like people's purses unless you really look at it. It's not like out there like that. You know what I'm saying? You really gotta dig in, and then you can really understand the finances.
You only see it at certain times because only certain states release it. So like when they fight in Nevada, you see it, but if they fight in California, you don't.
And there you go. So I mean, like if you're putting your body on the line, man, get your fucking money, bro. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Someone will pay you. Someone will pay you out there.
Your career can end at any time. At any time, man. You should get the money while you can. All them guys like Floyd and shit, man, they're smart. Even Connor, like they're smart guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they lose, they're gonna make money.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I have to secure my well-being because if I get injured, it's like I can't work. I can't work on injury. Injury puts me out indefinitely from working and securing money.
And by contract ain't guaranteed.
Exactly.
And MLB, who gives a fuck, right? You're Chris Davis. You're fucking good for 2 years. You get $175 million and you're never good again. You're the worst player in history. You still get fucking $35 million a year.
That's why I think it's so crazy. I'm just
guaranteed.
I'm looking at them. I always look at the amount of staff the NFL has. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they make money.
I'm like, bro, there's less than 20 people in this dugout right now. Like,
it's wild when any crazy when you see anything that big though. Like if you see like a big event catering, and you're just like, damn, like 100 people working, multiple fucking things getting done, and you just get it done and make a huge profit. Whoa!
But when you have this big ass fucking team on the sideline, it's like, yeah, I guess you need that many people. I mean, like, it's like a lot of shit going on over here. I'm just like, God damn. And I'm looking at baseball. I'm like, okay, reasonable. I'm looking at shit like soccer. I'm like, okay, there's the manager. There's like 2 assistant managers and like 3 water boys. And there's a fucking, there's only like 6 players on the bench. I'm just like, okay. But I'm just like, the NFL, I'm just like, the whole sideline be fucking full. Right. Up and down. I mean, especially when you had live crowds.
There's 53 players.
You had ball boys everywhere. You had fucking referees all up and down the fucking place. You had cameras every fucking corner.
Off the jump, both teams had 53 players, so that's over 100 people right there.
There you go. The logistics is fucking ridiculous,
about coaching, trainers.
So I'm thinking about like an NFL bubble. I'm like, that shit's like nearly impossible.
I think they're gonna do one for the playoffs.
Well,
what they were
makes sense because
what they were talking about with the NFL bubble is maybe doing 2 of them. Doing one on the West Coast and one on the East Coast.
Yeah, up
They
until
were
you
talking
have
about
to.
that, and then they were talking about if you just did a bubble basically where every division just played each other twice, and whoever won to the playoffs. And then have a playoff bubble from there.
Well, I guess at this point, with the because I mean like so far, I mean it just because they have so many people
Is
is that they're really susceptible to this virus, man.
is
It's
there an
like
asterisk on LeBron's championship?
no,
I don't think so.
no,
Bubble don't do nothing.
no, not for me, man. I think it's legit.
It's weird how
It's
these
solid.
guys, though, you never know what's going on outside of there, too. And, like, we just think they're going to be the same player every time, but they're going through different things in life. Like,
Bro,
there was that report that came out about Kawhi Leonard where, like, the players were mad at him, bro, because he went to live in San Diego. So, like, he kept coming late to practices trying to get from San Diego to L.A. every day for the River style. And he was just late to practice a lot, sitting himself during games, pulling himself out of games and shit. Like, it's not how you earn respect, Kawhi.
Yeah, that's why like with like I gained like a whole new respect for Jimmy Butler. I'm just like, man,
everybody.
I'm just like, bro.
Jimmy Butler was last year's Kawhi.
Yeah,
That's how everybody was looking at Kawhi last year. Like, damn, he's doing it on the rafters. Why? Championship, beat everyone. Now it's like Jimmy Butler, damn.
yeah.
Even though he didn't win it, you're like, fuck yeah, Jimmy.
I mean, 48 minutes every game. I'm
Always
just
love
like,
Jimmy.
bro.
That's what I always say. I always say to everyone, Luka's my favorite player, bro. He's not a superstar because at the end of the day, the superstars are guys that play both sides of the ball, bro.
Yeah.
You got to be an all NBA defense, all NBA offense.
Yeah.
That's a superstar. That's what Jimmy Butler is.
That's exactly, man. Like for a while I was just like, bro, this guy's pretty fucking toxic, man. I'm just like
that was the rep on him.
But and like also like I feel like he played at like a different level in this bubble than I mean, like maybe it's like the seasons and shit or something like that. But I mean, like he balled the fuck out.
Think about this, right? Jimmy had a choice between any team in the NBA that probably would have took him. Besides the 76ers that he was leaving, and he went to Miami, right?
Yeah.
So he's seen something with that team.
Oh yeah,
he knew that I can make something work here. And Eric Spoelstra once again showing that he's a fucking great coach, man, getting it done, bro. Shout out to Eric Spoelstra. He was crying and shit, man.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that he was still the coach for him. I didn't realize
he's been good. After they ain't had that many bad years since LeBron left, bro.
Oh, yeah,
They're like 500, a little bit better,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like,
and then think about this too, right, dude? That Heat team won 2 games, right? Yeah, they had no Dragic. Dragic had fucking fucked his foot up the first game, bro. An all-star level player.
Yeah.
Then Bam Adebayo goes down.
Nope.
Their starting center or power forward, whatever it was. He goes down. He came back, but he's not the same,
Yep.
Both of his next 2 best guys get hurt, bro.
Yeah.
And he still finds a way to grab 2.
Yep.
Pretty impressive, bro. Pretty impressive. I'm excited to see what they do over there.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like I said, it's like Jimmy Butler, like one of my new favorite players, bro. Just
I always loved Jimmy, bro. Always loved Jimmy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I just always thought he was kind of just like just like a toxic. I was just like
he plays with that intensity.
I mean, I feel like he always had like a lot to prove. You know what I'm saying? Like
he does.
Like and just like, but also like I mean, like I also feel like it wasn't. I feel like I honestly didn't I shouldn't say that because I didn't really watch too in depth. I
always gotta be careful doing that too.
None of his teams really saw success. I'm just like, is he the problem? It's just like, is he maybe coming disrupting these locker rooms with his attitude? I don't know, man. It's just like, we'll see. And he goes to the Heat and does this. I'm just like,
I think he's just a winner.
He just needs the right guy.
He didn't have winners on his team.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I think you have a lot of players, especially if you see someone like Embiid, you're working with him in the locker room, you're gonna have lots of egos clashing.
They're kids, him and Ben Simmons, they're kids. I think
you just have egos, though, man.
I'm just saying, Butler's a grown man. The Django. He's a grown ass man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what they call him.
That's what I call him. That's what he's like to me in the bubble. Embiid and Simmons, what are they, 23, 24 years old? What are we saying? We feel like until we were getting grown until recently, they're kids.
Oh, yeah,
they're kids. Yeah. The NBA, you're in the fucking NBA at 19 years old. Like, what?
Yeah.
You're getting fucking $20 million and shit,
that's why one of my favorite memes is like, it's like that.
What do you even do?
It's like that one really fat dude on the couch, and it's just like, me watching Ninja Moore, and it's like, I could have made that. It's just like, this dude sitting like the, same thing with like when Pop Smoke had that really scrawny, nerdy white kid. And they're like, oh, they caught Pop Smoke lacking. He was too hot. You know, it's like that's how I feel about these guys. It's like all he had to do was go out, drop 30 points, get 15 rebounds, and maybe a couple of assists, and he would have won. It's just like, bro, like not only like the athletic ability and the IQ, but to have the mentality to go into this locker room, you know, for fucking 7 games. You're playing every other day in this 7-game series, and it's just like the mentality is just like the competitive mentality. I'm just like, bro. You have none of those.
Yeah, like when they call fighters bitches. Like, oh, he's a bitch. Throw hands.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
And then Mike Perry said the best. He's like, even my coaches are like, get him, Mike. You know, get him, Mike. He's like, you get him. I thought Punchie's gonna punch. I don't want to get punched.
That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, I mean, like, I used to do it a lot when I was younger, but like as I've gotten older, like, I'm be careful more around sports. I'm just like, I should have kind of done. Look who he is.
Yeah.
You know,
I had to do that.
Rogers.
I used to do other situations, like even like real life situations. You know what I mean? We're just like that with the cops. Like that was a perfect example for me where I'm always just like, should have used your taser. Yeah. I had to start getting more logical of like, oh, I'm going home, you know, type of mindset, bro. Yeah. I'm going home. I'll start seeing things differently, you know. Don't do no sketchy shit. Yeah. Don't do no sketchy shit. It already is what it is. I'm here. Yeah. Don't do no sketchy shit. I'm going home.
I'm not sure where that came from. Okay.
It came from Meek Mill. My mama say, fuck what happened. Bro, rather see you in a cell than see you in a casket.
Bro, I was just watching him. I was watching a lot of his old videos, like of like him, like in Philly, like before he came up. I'm just geeking, bro.
Yeah, the corn rolls, the rolls.
Yeah, exactly. You know, exactly that weren't done. You know, like,
they were done months ago.
Yeah, I'm just looking at him. And it's like, man, I'm just looking at all these people around. I'm just like, I wonder if they knew that he would really blow. Like, I'm like, this guy. I'm looking behind. I'm like, that guy probably hates him. You know, he came up, got rich. He probably hating on him, bro. Like, I was just sitting there kind of like high. I'm just like, he plotting on him, bro.
It's crazy.
You don't want him to succeed
like that.
You don't want him to succeed, bro. Like, I don't know. I'm like, who did Meek Mill in this one particular scene? Who did Meek Mill come back for? Any of these people, his boys? Like, I don't know, man. I'm just really being analytical and like super high.
It is crazy how people like hate on that, bro. Like people will literally hate their best friend for having success,
bro. Like I hate it because I always think I'm just like, bro,
you hate that.
I'm like, bro, give me $100,000, and I'm like, bro, I'm like easily giving. Like I have people, I'm just be like, look, bro, it's you. I'm just be like, yo, here's some money. I know this will get you right and get you going on your dreams, bro.
Yeah.
You know, $100,000's not a lot.
This is what
I'm gonna give you. I know what you want to do. This can get it. It's like here. You know?
That's so great.
It's like, bro. I'm like, bro.
I love how you hold the money.
Exactly. It's like a whole lot of money over here.
Stack of like a square amount, like it's it's a square stack.
I'm not sure how I would do it. Like, would I rather me just come up with just give you a bunch of cash?
Just hold it like it's a square.
Like next thing,
like it's like wrapped.
And that's so light. It's like 50 grand would be so light, just like it's an item, you know. It's just like, here, I dropped the cash. And it's just that Call of Duty style. I just dropped the bag.
Loot that.
Or you just randomly sell it and just like that'd be cool, you know. But I mean, I would just give it, you know, just like, because I know for me to like get me where I want to go, you know, just like, bro, I would have like 80 grand to give away, bro. Just like, look, this is what I'm gonna go do.
100
with
grand
this thing. You know, it's like,
you go to 100 grand, then you call me, go, because I'm gonna tell you, do something to chase your own dreams.
Kings.
What call,
bro. All I know is put 5K on DraftKings.
Take a call. Take a long distance call for 80.
And just put a little stack real quick. All right.
No, I mean, I would say, like, if you called me and said that, you know, I would say, bro, well, like, let's do something that you want to build. You know what I mean? I'll help you build something great, and then you pay me. You know, you know what I mean? Like, okay, give me a good idea. See, what do you want to do with that 100 grand? I'm gonna help you do it, and then help me,
bro. Like, so I mean, what I'm thinking about. I mean, the thing I'm thinking about now, I'm just like, all right,
hemorrhage.
I would do the fucking sick ass. Well, I mean, I'm putting some money this time. I'm just saying, you know, I'm gonna mess and play with it a little bit. But I mean, like, at least what I would think about doing right now is like, I would think I would go with the van conversion, man. You know, I think I would just do that and do it nice, do it real good, you know, and just have it real solid, you know. and then
I wanted to send you this pic, but I couldn't the other day. It was this truck, bro. Have you seen like the conversions they do for just pickup trucks?
No,
They got these things now where it's a camper, but it slides right in the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah, see those. Yeah,
they're beautiful, bro. They're awesome. I think that's a good idea.
That's another good idea too.
Yeah,
that's another good idea, man, because it has everything you need.
Everything,
and it's designed for that.
It's perfectly designed.
Like with the van, you gotta build that.
Yeah,
it's not designed for that type of thing, you know. But I mean, like, if that'd be all the $100,000 into one of those, you know.
No, for one of the little slide-in ones, say you get one of them. Say you get one of like $10,000, then you get you don't have to, but you get an old truck. Like I always say, you get like one of them old, like a 2008 F-250 diesel.
I'll have to explore the option a little more.
Yeah, and you can always just slide that thing off onto a new truck.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah,
that's what I would do, and I'll try to have some money saved aside real quick, just so I can do my travels. You know, just do some shit. You know, and then I'd be like, bro, here's the rest. It's like, here's some. You know,
see, with $100,000, I want to make more money, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Bro.
We gotta make more money.
Definitely.
We had like you're talking about. You need capital.
Yeah.
To do things, you got capital now. You know.
Well, that's why I would definitely play with it a little bit. You know.
Not only that, though, you got to diversify your portfolio in life. You know, you can open a sub shop for $15,000.
Yeah.
Playing a little bit in the Robin Hood. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like
maybe own a pawn shop or something.
I would try and make money while I'm going out on the road somehow. You know, that's why I was thinking the stock market would be smart. You just try and make money on the road, and then where you have something saved. You know, then you make something back. It's just like then you do something because I want to get some travels out the way.
I hear you, but you know how much we're talking about.
You're young and springy. You want to go out and get out there.
You know how much we keep talking about, like how much we check it though. It's like I don't want to be on the road and be like, all fucking day.
That's the thing. I would do something more passive. You know, I would do that. I would be more of a passive thing to where like I'm trying like. Okay, look, I may be able to fund some travel for like, let's say like the next, year or two, and I'll try and make some money into that like long term type of deal, short term, and do play with some of the short term as well. But like, I would that would be like my job, it's I would work at that, like.
Right.
A job, basically. Because I mean, like you have a lot of time. You're not working no job.
You definitely do want to travel when you're younger, man.
Yeah,
you
100%, man.
That's what I'm thinking about. Just like average life expectancy, 75 years old.
Yeah,
and you retire at 62.
Yeah,
at the early 65 on the late side. You know what I mean? So it's like you work fucking 50 years to enjoy 10 years. You can't even really do anything. You can't go climb a mountain.
That's what I'm saying.
It's too late for that.
And I mean, like, maybe this sounds weird, but like, I don't want to like leave my job and then like go work a sub shop and try and make that here, somewhere else or whatever. It's like I want to go travel right now. That's why I would just go on the road, bro. Just go on the road and figure some shit out. I'd fund some things, and try and like, maybe I could do the YouTube shit where I'm just like traveling. I'm just backpacking Europe right now.
We gotta see what's cheap.
So.
We gotta find something that's cheap, bro.
Exactly, yeah.
Something with like $10,000, around the $10,000 margin. I feel like that's doable.
Yeah.
If you can get like one of them, maybe a used slide-in thing for $8 and a truck for 25 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or you get a van for $8,000 and you do a $2,000 conversion or something.
Yep.
Something around that mark, man.
Exactly.
And be so awesome, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't want to put more than like. I wouldn't go out like some people might get that $100,000, go out and buy a new 2020 Ram ProMaster. High roof 3500 extended. Like no, I would go find a decent used van.
You could get like a 2000 fucking camper, man. Old shit. You know what I mean? One of them pop-up campers from like 2005.
The way I think about
that's still in good condition,
bro. The way I think about it, you get a cheap van. It's like the cheaper the van I get, that's like the best deal as possible. Is the more that I put into the amenities in the van. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying? So like I can do the van better and it's in a tier where I'm actually staying and living, So then like, it's like I would then like try and keep that as low as possible and put as much to the side, and just like
all right, so when we leaving?
Right, if I had tomorrow, do it, But I mean like realistically, bro, I'm definitely aiming 100% before 30, even before 29,
So I was thinking I like January 2022.
Yeah,
that's been my date.
Yeah,
that's a date that I'm trying to get set on. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's a ways out.
That's 1 year, actually, pretty much.
It's 1 year and some change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would be my goal, man. To have my debts ready, be good to go, be able to figure out, have enough money accumulated. Now maybe it's not January, but 2022, man. I'm trying to be like gone, bro. I'm trying to make some. I'm trying to be traveling, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like fuck this shit.
It's like the way I'm looking at it right now, bro. Like I'm gonna have 2 years, I have some type of fucking converted something or some type
Yeah.
of fucking mobile house, and I'm living in
Yep.
that bitch, bro. And I'm going, man. I'm gone. I'm getting. I don't like that. Even if it doesn't happen in 2 years, then it's like 3 years. I'm going before 29, 30, bro. That's all I
Yeah.
know. I'm gone. I'm
It's not too late,
Exactly.
I'm not gonna keep waiting.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna keep waiting.
That's what I'm working towards.
Yep.
That's what I'm working towards. Right now, like I'm the same thing where I'm getting debt squared away. I'm trying to get things paid off. And
I feel like you're coming around, Steve.
no, bro,
I feel like you're coming
that's,
around.
that's the. I thought like we've talked a lot, bro.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot over the past year, 2 years or so, and I've put a lot of thought into it. I've weighed a lot of different options and things that like it's like rent a house, temporarily, do I mean. Buy a house, the career paths I could possibly take to make more money or do this or do that. And the one that I've saw that I think this is the best way is to do that. That's the only one that satisfies what I want, and that's to travel and see shit and not waste my time here at this job, bro.
Yeah.
And just like fucking wake
Rotting
up
away.
you're rotted. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're 40, 45, 50, and you're just fucking you're bitter. I mean, like I'm a young guy. I'm at a job with a bunch of old heads. They're bitter. They've been there forever. They don't want to be there. Well, at this point, maybe they do because now they're so reliant on it. They can't do anything else.
They need it. We had that one friend. It's like, I can retire when I'm 57. Like, wow. I'm happy for you. Wow, 50 fucking 7,
bro. And not only that, man, there's been so many days where I've just been at work and I'm just like, so is this what it's going to be? 20 more years of this?
Yeah, it should be 20 years and you're done, right? It should be 20 years and you get retirement.
It was like, nope. Nope, not for me. 20 years of doing something like this day in and day out? No, thank you. I mean, like, did you really think about it? You got to say it out loud. You get paid, this is not what I get paid, but you get paid $20 an hour, $25 an hour. You wait an hour and then you get handed $25. Not really because it gets taxed, but you get handed $25. $30 an hour, $50 an hour. You can wait around an hour, you just get $50. It's like you wait around for an hour, you get $100. Whatever. It's not gonna satisfy me. It's not gonna enable me to do what I want to do, and that's to go travel and see shit full time. I don't want to work like a job for 40 hours a week. It's as simple as that. I don't want to do that. What allows me to not do that? The mobile car.
You can always come back, bro. You're not leaving nothing, right?
Exactly, the mobile shit.
That's how I've been trying to like figure out ways to downsize and make more money. But honestly, I don't want to have to go work 16-hour days or get a second job to where like all I'm doing is working. And it sucks because sometimes I feel like that I should do that, like, should I just go get multiple jobs, just make as much money as I can so I can leave as quick as I can? I should, but that makes my life now miserable.
You don't want to do that now.
But then again, am I going to keep waiting, Steve? Like even 30, like you're saying 30, like I'm like 30. I hear you. It makes sense.
Before
but
30.
Like, damn, 30.
Before 30, bro.
29. I'm like, damn, I'm about to be 27. It's like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to be gone.
So for me, I'm like 3 years. I would love to do 3 years.
I'm going to be gone. 27.
Yeah. I gotta
figure it out.
Different, but
I gotta take a long distance call. I gotta figure it out. I gotta hit on the DraftKings.
That's why I'm trying this shit because I'm like, is this a way I could make some passive income?
Sell
is there
some
a way
shrooms.
that I could turn some money? Exactly, bro. Like literally, bro. Like I need to make some money in the quick short term.
I hear you. I hear you.
And
you want to hit some licks?
And I want to, it's like I thought about it. But I'm like, nah, don't want to do that. Definitely don't want to do that.
I'm not sorry, Ryan.
I haven't thought about it.
I started thinking about who was vulnerable.
But I mean, like, I'm just like, I was thinking about. I'm just like, I need a side hustle. I need a side hustle because this job isn't cutting out of it. If I go to another job, make 25, whatever, that's not gonna cut it. If I go to a job 39, that's not gonna cut it. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna get it done. So, and I'm still gonna be working 8 hours a fucking day. So I think the investing in the stocks, the options is a good way to do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, I feel confident because I've done it. I did it before, and
Right.
I made some
Right.
money, so I
Yeah.
know I can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like that. That's those losses. That's the average, day.
Yeah. You
Not
made some,
average
you
day,
lost
but I
some.
mean, like, but not only that, but like, you have a little bit of money in it, and you like I said, there's a day where you're up a little bit, and then the next 2 days you're down, and you're like, you got to fight with that, you got to hustle with that loss you're seeing in that day, but then tomorrow could go up, and you're up double what you were the day before.
Mhm.
So like when you have the money like that, you can make some longer term plays where you play with some time, you have some time on your side. When you don't have time on your side, it rushes everything. The emotions that you gotta fight. It's like. It's just so it's like, man, I think it'll be a good way to just get the fuck out of this lifestyle, man. Just
That's what I was trying to lay out, my time span there, of like basically like around that 2-year margin. Just keep trying to accumulate that DK, bro, and then like right around that time, sell off and hopefully be able to triple my money there and have a nice little savings basically to head out on with some other savings in the bank, and some other things.
Exactly.
Just been finding every single way, but at the end of the day, got to get the bills down. Got to pay less bills. I keep saying make more money, but really it's like I spend a lot of money on bills, bro.
Exactly, man.
Spend 75% of my check on bills, it feels like.
Yeah. I do definitely have to downsize. I mean, like one of my biggest bills is like car insurance, man. Like I originally switched it from like the county to Baltimore City because of some complications. But I mean, like once I got into Baltimore City, bro, it went through the fucking roof, bro.
Really?
Yeah, it went through the fucking roof, bro. I'm just like, what for what?
Yeah,
man?
K's just went up
I'm
too.
sitting here 5 years, solid driver, no accidents, and it like doubled.
Right,
in Baltimore
over
City,
25,
bro.
double? Damn.
Pretty much, bro. Because I
Wow.
originally had it in Annapolis. So it was like around, it was lower, like around a little under like the 150 mark. I'm just like, the bitch went up. Like I'm just like Baltimore City,
Wow.
like god damn.
That sucks.
So I mean, like and then like like Comcast and shit. It's like, so I mean, like those are things I could definitely like lower and like eliminate in some form. And my car's paid off, so I'm gonna do the insurance like full coverage type thing. But I mean, like I also would get worried about that. Where I'm like, what's that full coverage mean? What's that mean?
It means liability.
It's like, you never know.
That means if someone hits you and they don't got insurance, you ain't covered.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're fucked.
Yeah. Exactly.
Your shit ain't gonna get fixed unless you pay for it.
So I mean that,
But I know, like Bill, motherfucker drove 15 years on liability, bro. And never had a problem. If he got in an accident, it was someone that hit him.
Yeah. Yeah. Never been anything bad, thank God. I mean, definitely, I'm on the same thing where like I want to figure out how to downsize and like lower shit and like cost outputs and stuff like that, and just really like.
But then you also fight the fact of you want to buy luxurious things and have a nice life while you're here.
I mean, like I definitely splurge a lot, but I mean, like
that's how I am, bro. When I get paid, I'm like, I want to live.
I feel exactly, man. Like I want to feel good. I want to go out and enjoy a meal and.
Yeah, I have my savings, but it's like at the same time, I could save more, but I want to, enjoy a hot meal. I want to go out and eat, take my lady on a date,
I want to go do events and I want to go do things, I want to go, I want to buy things for hobbies. I want to, play the new game or whatever, what I'm saying? I want to enjoy those things,
Fuck yeah.
And so, I mean, like, and especially when I'm trading time for the money that I'm getting to spend, it's like, well, I want to then take that money and invest it into things that I enjoy, and go enjoy my time with the money that I earned with my time.
I'll tell you what's good money. That goddamn Lime scooter. There's 2 of them out there if you want to bang them after this.
Bro, I was geeking because there's 2 dudes downtown and they were on the spin scooters. And they were wheeling them bitches, bro. He was really riding it out.
Something like that.
He was really riding it out.
I have to try that one.
He was riding it out. It's funny. He was down the block. I'm just like, hey,
I just love hitting the jumps, man. Them spin scooters, they got bigger tires, so them motherfuckers take the jumps a lot better.
Yeah, the limes have been in really bad condition lately.
Yeah, the limes
I definitely want to get on the spin one.
Yeah, get on the spin.
Yeah, the spin bike's out there too.
Are they automatic?
I don't think so. I think they're pedal bikes.
I'm pedaling.
Yeah,
peasant.
Yeah,
I'm not pedaling.
Those bikes are big and bulky,
poor.
too, bro. Those things are big and bulky.
I don't like them. I never did.
Because they have those unlocking and locking mechanisms and all the electronics.
Dude, just straight up give us unlockable 4-wheelers, bro. What's up?
Yeah, did you see that? Did you see that all those people were down Fells with the dirt bikes?
No.
Yeah,
They
the
rode
other
through?
night, man, they had like fucking. I think it was like 30 or 40 people down there. Maybe less, but I mean, like, it looked like a lot of people.
Tell you what I have
But
been
dirt
seeing,
bikes just
bro.
banging them,
A
man.
lot of fucking Biden signs.
Oh yeah.
I think this guy's making a little comeback here, a little
I mean,
pushback.
I think he actually has a chance of winning.
50-50,
you
I'm
know?
feeling.
I mean, like his best move to date was Harris. It's literally his best move to date.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think he has a legit chance to win. You know, and I think it shows because to me, it appears to me that Trump is a little shook. You know.
But he still has that fan base that he never lost and he never will.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I think he lost a lot of people who were like, oh fuck Hillary. You know, I think he lost a lot of people that were on the fence, that weren't unsure.
Bro, if he loses, people next election will be asking him to run again.
Yeah, because he can run one more
He
term.
can still get another term.
Yeah, he can run one more term, exactly. So I mean, yeah, but I don't think he would rerun because he's going to be 80 plus.
Oh yeah,
you know?
way too old.
80 plus. Plus, I mean, for me, I'd be like, whoa, I'm 80 plus. Fuck that, I'm fucking rich. Okay.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
if you're president, like if you're your 40s, 50s, you're getting a check for the rest of your life. You got security for the rest of your life. You're gonna get good homes, good schooling.
Exactly.
You're protected. You're good for life.
You got access to good drugs. I'm gonna have a fun life after this, man. Like I'm gonna be crazy coked out and write a book. You know, life as the president. You know, just be fucking going ham, bro. Like I'm Donald Trump, and I would just be fuck this presidency shit.
So this is actually something that with this motherfucker that I've been thinking about.
With Trump?
Yeah, but it's also Rogan too, man. Like,
oh, shit.
You taking my lighter?
That's mine.
He sounds. I never say this about him, but like I hate how he sounds. It sounds dumb to me when he's talking about the Twitter ban thing. Cause let's get this right? So conservatives, when that baker didn't want to bake that cake for that gay wedding, everybody said that they have the right to bake who they want to bake to and serve who they want to serve. Why is that not the same with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is? Why aren't they the same exact thing? They're not a government business. They should not have to abide by any of those laws that you want them to abide by. And his best argument is, well, nobody knew it'd be communicated. It's one of the number one form of communication on planet Earth, so it needs to be regulated. Yeah, it needs to be regulated by the people that created it. These people are supposed to be conservative and business, should have freedom of choice. But then it's like all of a sudden that you shouldn't be allowed to ban who you want to ban and shit like that. At the end of the day, you could say, have a great day and I can ban you because it's my platform that I created. And if that's a problem, the government shouldn't be allowed to set regulation on them. They should create something like that. And then if people want to use their form of it, we can. No one will. If we're going to use Twitter, you're still going to use whatever's there. So why are you trying to regulate those people that came up with a great business idea? That's capitalism. And now they can choose what they want to do with their company as long as they're not hurting anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
If I want to go on here and just promote Satanism, I can. Anybody talk about Christianity, I'll just block. If that's what I want to do, I can do that. It's my platform. You're on here. You came here. I never asked you to come here. Get off. You can leave. I don't understand why they think that's okay that they can regulate that.
I mean, it's a big argument for a lot of these tech companies, because I mean, like, there are people that feel like that they're underregulated and that they just have too much power when it comes to things like that. But I mean, I'm one to fully agree with you. Where it's like it's a debate because you have some people like you who are like it's okay, it's fine, whatever, it's their platform. It's like you said, it's capitalism, free business enterprise, whatever you want to call it. And then just because they're on the receiving end, now it's kind of like, oh, regulate this, regulate that, but like they're the main proprietors of of not regulating businesses, like you said.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's very hypocritical just because they're on the receiving end. But I mean, like, let's be real. A lot of times, these people get really fucking hateful, man. It's like they do say some really fucking off the wall shit.
Twitter didn't ask the president to do all of his negotiations through Twitter.
Exactly.
He's doing that.
Exactly.
If Twitter wants to ban the president, they can, man. They can ban whatever they want to do. It's their platform, man. Get off it if you don't like it. Create one.
Exactly. And not only that, but it's something that may be impossible because you only have so many employees in these companies and human reviewers, and these algorithms are very imperfect, whether they take down too much, passable content, or they take down too little hateful content, or whatever you want to call
Bro.
it.
But like we always talk, how old are those systems? 10 years tops. They're gonna get better and better and better and
Well,
better
yeah, as
and better.
technology improves and whatnot, but I mean, like, I'm thinking about like, the type of like programming, like, and like the amount of people
Twitter's
who
algorithm in
also
15
work
years.
against that,
Twitter's algorithm in 15 years. You don't think it's just fucking what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the people bypassing that stuff and overriding it are also doing that. You're kind, and that's the thing. They're always behind the game because people are creating against them.
What do you mean creating? All you can do is post shit.
Well, I mean, like, that you can do things where, like, I mean, people, hack accounts and do shit like that. There's also people who do, lots of like spam botting and stuff where, like, you create multiple accounts super quickly, and like, from this one program, and then, spam shit from there, so like those types of things are very hard to counteract because people are also creating better ways and more efficient ways to, work,
Okay, I got
work
you.
in these systems.
To trick the algorithm.
Exactly, and work in these systems, and bypass it, and not only that, but when people start making, language is very complex. When people start making up acronyms or just random, like, whatever, symbolic things that, can be shared but mean things, it's hard to also have an algorithm that would detect those types of things because we're people and we evolve.
Maybe one day, right?
Language evolves into ever evolving things. So, I mean, like, they're creating things as like I don't think fucking like they probably don't even know like the new lingo people fucking use, but like then they have to learn that new lingo that people create, and then
how does
like,
that even
figure
work?
it
Like,
out.
does it learn it or do they gotta tell it?
Well, that's the thing. Like, people start talking about, like, let's say, I remember one thing. It's probably a little old now, but I mean, like, one thing that, like, my niece used to talk about when they used to talk in high school would be like, if you're going to go get bipped up or some shit, you get a haircut or so, whatever the case may be. And like, when people start talking about it on Twitter, it's like, well, I don't think anyone's gonna know what that means. You gotta figure out what it means and kind of like either like deprogram it, or does it do some deep learning thing where it figures it out?
So what do you think? Which way are you going with it? Are you think it should be censored or just let it go?
I'm cool. Let it go, man.
Let them censor it.
That's the thing. The way I'm looking at it is like, they created this, like, what I mean, like, of course, you like, like YouTube, you can't allow like, gore videos, if you don't want to.
Yeah.
That's why World Star has that type of thing, or like break.com, whatever. So I mean, like, there's like that's the thing. There's always different places for it. If you want to see someone get, their head blown out, then you might go to World Star and find
somebody's doing it.
You might go to World Star then,
Yeah.
Like, that's the type of thing you might go. So you go to different platform for that type of thing. So what if it's number one? So what's the top one to be used? If you want to go communicate with those people that you want to go communicate with, well, like, why do you want to be out here spreading hateful shit?
And if you do want to fucking censor anything, let's try and censor them goddamn porn sites and those sketchy ass videos we always talk about.
Exactly, man.
But you guys get on that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got a lot of. It's just like one thing that, like, people are fucking worrying about. Like, it's like, I don't give a fuck, ultimately, because I mean, like, that's the thing. I just really don't care. Like, it's just so far off into, like, I don't want to be a part of that world at all. It's like, I don't care about these like political people just fucking like, like Facebook deems them to be banned. Like, they ban no politician or nothing.
I'm not even on Twitter, dude. I've never used Twitter.
They didn't ban Donald Trump or nothing. They fucking ended up banning QAnon, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay, they banned QAnon. Go do you can make your own website.
Yeah, make your own website.
You can make your own website, bro. It's just like, why do you want to spread this weird shit? Like, I mean, like, people want to come, like, bring the hammer down on them for not fact checking stuff. Okay, well, now we're taking stuff off that we, deem that's not true.
And now you don't like that.
Okay, now you don't like
that. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. That's Facebook's problem too. Facebook's going to that too, where they put the little warning on there.
And that's the other thing, it's like,
and people. And I kind of love it there, right? Because you see some people who share some dumbass shit, and then Facebook will just straight up be like, "This is incorrect."
That's the other thing. This is such a new thing, man. This is all so new. Think about 5 years ago. No one was talking about shadow banning or banning the conservatives off of Twitter. No one was talking about that, man. So we're getting to like a new age of like where like people are like, huh, are we gonna start regulating this shit? And it's just like, I was like, God damn it, man.
And they like Joe's on there talking about like maybe they need to amend the First Amendment to include social media. I was like, what? You guys are always talking about how the First Amendment shouldn't be touched, but now we're gonna amend it, for this certain way. Like, it just seems so gay and so. It's like the only word for it. It's just gay. No? It's like stupid, unnecessary, that type of gay. It's like enough of it, bro. Let people say what they want, as long as they're not threatening people, inciting violence and shit. Like, let them go.
Yeah, and I mean, like, the other thing is like, you're like, you want to talk about, what Twitter should do. It's like, well, let Twitter do something about these Russian and Chinese bots, fucking with, Americans, man. But you don't want to talk about that, though. People don't give a fuck about that. Oh, that's fake, though.
Dude,
that doesn't happen.
I was reading this thing about in 2006. They found 18 Russian undercover agents in America. Did you ever hear about that?
I've heard about something.
They had integrated into families and shit. At this point, they had families and everything. They had been here for mad long. But they caught 18 of them. So you imagine there's probably 180 of them.
I heard of that one family who is they're the basis for that show, I think Homeland or something. It's about those, these Russian immigrants that come over here. They get citizenship. No, they get they don't get, they get apply for their citizenship and whatnot. And then they have a kid here.
Right.
And then that kid is automatically an American citizen,
Yeah.
I don't even think they apply for the citizenship. I think they're just chilling over here.
He's getting an 90-day visa.
And then they were gonna pretty much, try and infiltrate, America, American government and whatnot. Well, it turned out, they came forward that they were actually working for Russia, and that they actually had liked it living here in America, didn't want to fucking do it, and it was just like, what? Like, that's a real thing. That really fucking happened.
They didn't want to do it after they got here?
Well, after they got here, raised the kid and everything, it's like they actually, like the lifestyle, that's a real thing that fucking happened.
Started eating Chick-fil-A and shit.
Yes.
They were like,
oh, shit. like,
what, Putin? Putin's like, did you get it done?
Beer.
Putin, there's Chick-fil-A. You have to.
American beer, questionable, but getting drunk as fucking going to Taco Bell, what the fuck? This is like
crab pretzels, Putin.
You ever smoke weed? Like, you don't get that in Russia. Like,
you think they got weed up there?
They do. Yeah, definitely.
Probably hard to get that, right?
I think it's definitely hard.
Gotta come from a different country, probably.
It's definitely harder to get than like around
it's some
here
dirt.
in America. You know what I'm saying?
It's dirt.
Definitely hard to get it here in America.
What would we do without Mexico? Just bringing us all over this dank.
Well, now you got drug runners who are just fucking, just bringing it from California and shit in bulk, and stuff like that.
Would you ever move coyotes?
Aren't coyotes the one that help people? They help the ones they don't help people, but they smuggle the.
Oh, okay, what do they call the people?
I don't know, cubs maybe. I don't know.
Okay, whatever you want to use. Would you ever do that?
Smuggle some Mexican.
Would you ever smuggle people?
I wouldn't do it to like charge people, but like if I'm like out on that border and I see some people struggling, like some immigrants, I'm like, come on, guys,
You gonna let them get in your trunk?
Yeah, let's go.
You're getting pulled over.
Let's go. Let's get it, man.
Wouldn't that be so crazy on your record?
Yeah, right. I think I'll just dip farther.
Human smuggling.
And be like, oh, man,
you would get a human smuggling charge.
Yeah. For free.
What if they're like, we don't even know this guy? He abducted us.
I'm like, I just came from the mechanic.
They must have hopped in when I went to get a Slim Jim.
The mechanics put him in there. The fucking joists.
That is the mechanic. Get out of there. I don't know. I think if you're doing it, you gotta make a buck.
You come back. You come back, and you like after you get pulled over, like you pop up in your trunk and you see the people there. You're just like, what?
Whoa!
Oh shit! What?
How the fuck?
Who the fuck is
this? Leave your wife.
I don't think at that point I just run into Mexico and I'm just like, well, I guess live like this.
Yeah, I can't have another human smuggling charge.
Yeah, I'm not going. Yeah, exactly.
You know that one people do that like get in those little ass areas, bro. You ever see like when they're underneath of the car and shit, and they literally got like this much room.
They're in like the wheel well.
Oh my god, bro. For fucking 20 hours or something, you know what I mean?
Like I remember
and you're talking about those people that want to leave.
Remember they had that 18-wheeler, and they found like 50 dead immigrants in the back of it.
Crazy. That's like the second time that happened too.
Exactly. I mean, I'm more happens more than that. Where it's like, you find 10, it might make the the national news, but like, you find 50.
That don't even make sense. And a damn 18-wheeler, bro.
All you had to do was let them out. Like, you just had to let them out. Like, you just left them there.
Well, I know like a lot of times when they do them, they move them in the shipping containers. They would drill holes into the shipping container for air, but sometimes those get clogged up. And if they ain't pulled off
Yeah, I don't
early
think
enough,
they did it in that 18-wheeler. I don't think they did any holes in the 18-wheeler, bro.
that sucks. Suffocation.
I couldn't
No
imagine
kidding.
that in like the heat, bro. Man, that's what I'm saying. Like, I remember, I think you shared it. It was that one thing. It was just like, look, anybody who fucking picks up their kid, leaves their life behind, travels 2,500 miles, just so they can have a better life for the children and themselves, can be my neighbor any day. It's like, look at these fucking people, bro. Like, look
Yeah.
at what they're doing.
I
They
like the other
come
one too. That was
here.
like, imagine if drug cartels took over America. You grabbed your kids and your wife and ran to Canada, and when you got there, they said you couldn't come in. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's like, basically, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the drug cartels are bigger than the police. They're bigger than the military.
Yeah.
At this point, these people are just being slaughtered or fed to the lambs. Well, fed to the lambs, fed to the lions, and they have no option but to come this way,
It's
bro.
just fucking
That's
them up.
it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you look at some of the countries that they're coming from, and I mean, like, especially like something like, I believe it's Argentina. Yeah, Argentina, I believe. Where like America had like a direct role in trying to get rid of their leader.
Mhm.
Because
And now they have gun violence and
because
shit.
they deemed them to be a threat or whatever, and you have a lot of the turmoil being carried out by America, where they're doing like trade embargoes and sanctions, and I'm sure counterintelligence, election interference, shit like that. So then you have immigrants coming from here where America has a role in its current political situation.
Yeah.
And then then they come here and you're like wondering why. I mean, it's not everywhere. I mean, whether they're escaping violence or they just have no jobs. I mean, like, come on, they're traveling so fucking far.
The bottom line is, you never seen one of them come here and seen them on the corner begging for money.
Yeah,
You ain't never seen
and
that.
that's why like when people like argue against it, there's like, well, especially with like the child separation, the separation of families and stuff, going on. It's like, well, they probably shouldn't put their kids in that situation. I mean,
Dude,
it's like,
somebody said that to my girl, bro, and I had to hop on there. I was like, dog, I got to get you off my Facebook, bro. I'm like, listen, if you want to make that argument, that's okay. But the fact that you see a picture of a child in a cage and the first thing you think is, why did the parents put him in that situation? What the fuck's it matter? Get the kid out of the cage, bro. Don't put a fucking kid in a cage, man.
exactly.
What are you talking about? You know what I mean? That's the first thing that came to your mind, is what did they do? Like, it's wild. What do you mean? What did they do? You don't know. You don't know. So why are you assuming that it's something bad?
And that's why, like,
You wouldn't assume that about white people, though. You wouldn't. If there was 10,000 Europeans that came over here on ships, bro, from fucking Europe or France or whatever, white people with families, yo, they would take those motherfuckers in, yo. They would find a way to take them in. But when you see that with Spanish families, they're always like, oh, what are they coming here for? Like, they can't flee for the same reasons. They can't flee for good reasons. They only come up here to, do bad shit. But meanwhile, they take all the fucking hard jobs. You never see them begging, while constant black motherfuckers, white motherfuckers are out there on the corners begging for money, capable of working, begging every single day in the same spot for fucking years. You never seen an illegal go out there and beg for money, bro. They would go out there and work for fucking $10. They sit out front of the 7-Eleven for fucking 20 hours at a time, man,
Bro,
waiting
not
for
only
work
that.
that don't even come.
Bro, I remember I used to, when I would work in restaurants and the food industry a lot, when I was a lot younger, I would see it all the time. I would work next to these, immigrants. He came, just, whether maybe it was, dudes or women who came here, without their families, or came, just came here without anybody, just came here to work, and they're working 3 jobs, and he's like, I send money home, work 3 jobs, and I'm working on trying to get citizenship, and I'm working on bringing them here, so they can come stay with me.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Right.
Working
That is
three full-time fucking jobs, bro.
that
Somehow.
is
When does
the
that even make
American
sense?
dream.
Exactly.
That's the American dream.
Exactly.
What happened to
What
it?
is this country full of, bro? Fucking motherfucking Italian motherfuckers that came over here, German motherfuckers that came over here to make a life,
Irish.
Irish motherfuckers that came over to make a life, British motherfuckers that came over to make a life. All of that, man. All those people came over here to
All
make
of
a
them got
life
white
at some
skin.
point. It's like not every single person here has been here since 1776.
Not one person.
That motherfucker immigrated in the 40s, bro.
Yeah.
Fleeing World War II. He been here for 50 fucking years, or something.
But then it's like I can't ever forget that, like, when the World War II did happen, though, and they got all them Jews in concentration camps, they turned them down from coming here.
Yeah.
They wouldn't allow them to come here. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So crazy, you hypocritical fucks. We'll
Like,
liberate you, but we ain't gonna help you after that. It's exactly what they do with the prison system, right? It's like, here's 10 years of prison, get out there and get a job in 30 days. Or else you're coming back.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just like I don't know, man. Like, I understand that you can't help everybody. I understand that, like, you can't do a lot of things, but I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, when people think about things, it's like they immediately skip over the empathy aspect, and they're just like, what? I mean, like, it's like they never for once think about these children, these women.
Fuck the money. Fuck the money for a moment. Fuck everything for a moment. Let's just think about humans. That's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong, bro. Fuck how much it costs. Fuck what it does to anything. Fuck policy. Fuck laws. Fuck anything. That's fucking wrong. Get the kid out the cage. That's simple. That's simple as shit. We can discuss everything after that, but get the fucking kid out the cage.
Yeah,
like, come on, bro.
Exactly, man. And I mean, it's just, well, and then people just have this like kind of blind following when it comes to things, and it just like I said, they skip over the empathy part. Like, you think about if you were in this type of situation, you're literally thinking, you're just like, whoa, gee, the only real option I can see is traveling on foot 2,500 fucking miles to have a crapshoot at getting in this country illegally.
And you ask any of these parents, I'll kill for my kid, but you won't take them to get a better life across the border. What's your kill for them?
You don't even know what that means.
Yeah, right.
You don't even know what goes on in some of these countries, or what some of these women face, or even what some of these kids face.
Yeah, until they're raping your whole fucking family every day and extorting you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kids not going to school, it's just like, come on, it's like kids not going to school.
Raping your kids, bro.
Exactly. Domestic violence, drug
You can't even call the police. These people here don't even know what it's like to not be able to call the police.
You grew up, she had a fucking brother that grew up and lost him to drug violence because that's all there is to do. And it's like, okay, I had a kid at 14 because I got raped, and I'm gonna make a better family for us. Because I have a son. I don't want him to be raised in this environment because it's the same circulation. I mean,
so you save up for fucking 8 years to have enough money for fucking some coyote to come grab you up.
Just like you wake up every day, and for you family, most people want to do the most and the best for your family every single day. And not only that, but you want to do better for yourself and your family. You want to do better for those around you. Americans look at it and they're like, okay, I want to do a better career. I want to get a nice house. I want to have a nice family. I want to make money so I can secure and help my other family and build a family and take care of them. Well, that's the same thing that these people want to do.
Yeah, and at the same time,
same thing.
At the same time, you want to go to Cancun for 2 weeks on vacation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Just keep this spot pretty. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
You got my armed guards right here. I can enjoy your little corner, and I'm out.
Exactly.
Thanks for Tijuana. Fuck the rest of
you. So that's the thing. You can understand all of that, and what you work for and doing what you do, but you can't understand them coming here. Why they're flooding here? You think they all want to just live off the system or some shit? Like,
just like, dude, anybody, bro. I mean, I don't even know how to feel about a kid, but I know how I feel about my nephews and my nieces, and I'll literally bite you in your face. You know what I mean? Like, I would bite your fucking face, bro. So I mean, to think that you wouldn't try to do something like that, you're just being illogical.
That and you're thinking,
and you're a dick.
And you're thinking
Just
with,
tell the
like I
truth.
said, you're skipping the empathy part. You're skipping
Yeah.
the compassion. You're skipping
And-
all of that.
And like they were saying, like, like the one thing was saying where it's like, we can be friends and have differences, but it can't be over that. It can't be over racism. It can't be over prejudice. It
Exactly.
can't be over child abuse. It can't be over things like that.
Exactly. The one thing that I can't get over that I see a lot of older people talk about, like they'll talk about all this shit where like, oh, this kid doesn't know what a fucking Betamax is, or this kid doesn't know what a VHS is. This is crazy. Oh, participation trophy. It's like, well, motherfucker, the world is an ever-changing fucking place. I'm sorry you're getting a little outdated and you're really bitter and out of touch with what the world is nowadays with these X views where like, the thing you worried about growing
You
up
don't
was
know what
fucking
Warzone is, bitch.
the thing you fucking worried about was communism growing up. Like you were just fucking worried about all this stupid ass shit. Maybe you were even worried about that, It's a new fucking world, it's a new climate. You're just out of fucking touch, That's like a lot of times the people who hold those views are typically older, but like when I see a lot of younger people like that, I'm just like, well, you obviously just have a lot of influence from like your environment, like the older people are around you that shape your views like that, I don't have a lot of people, who have strong beliefs in like my household who really like portray things, but like, like as I've gotten older, I know things like, racism, the child abuse, it's like, shit like that. That all fucking
Moral
doesn't
code,
make
bro.
fucking sense. None of that makes sense in any aspect. Whether it's the government fucking doing it, or whatever. Like that does not make fucking sense to me, That would never will. And then you just sit here and you're like, oh, well, why would they put their family in this situation? Well, it's like, you're I think
You're
first
a
of all,
dick.
and I think you also are a dumb motherfucker because for me like that, it doesn't take a lot of like intellectual capacity to like. For me, it's very ignorant and dumb to take that route of like, well, why would the families put their kids in that situation?
Did you even try to think about it?
Yeah, it's like, are you really just going straight to a fucking like
right
affiliated side at this point?
Here's a perfect one, right? So when your son dies in the United States Army in combat, I'll say, why would someone even put their son in that situation? Right? Why would you let your son sign up for the U.S. Army then?
Yeah.
It's like the same exact thing. Like, what are you talking about, bro? You're just trying to do the right thing.
There's someone that I know, and they're an older person, and what they love to do, they love to talk about and say people like they love to toss on this word uneducated. They love to say things like that. They'll talk about them like, when they're talking about other people, they'll be like, oh, this person's bright, young, educated, and then when it's like, when it's unbeneficial, it's like, oh, they were uneducated, this, that, or the other. But they also hold racist views, and I mean that's by far the most uneducated thing to ever hold. It's like if you are a racist, in my mind, you also lack some intellectual capacity. Because to me, this isn't also just like a, this like, it's like, with the skin color and stuff. It's all, if you can think about it and really think about it for a second, it's like you really see that this shit's just really fucking stupid.
And I mean, it's for me, it's like a cowardly thing too, though. Because I can't speak for any other type of racism other than white racism. But when it comes to whites like hating blacks, it's usually out of fear. It's usually because they think like that they're gonna try to assault them, rob them, attack them. They just assume things along the lines of that.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like cowardly to just assume that anyone's going to attack you at any given time based off of their color.
Yeah. And then the other thing I think about, I'm going to say, okay, so we are just coming from a period, with the last century, where, there was a civil rights movement. And I can make the jump and the leap that maybe that has some type of effect on what's going on nowadays, where you see high crime rates and a lot of urban cities and whatnot with the high black populations. I'm like, well, maybe it has something to do with that. I mean, like like I said, it's still so close. I mean, the favorite thing I always say is like, oh, you mean like, like, oh, they never were slaves, they never seen, racism, and they didn't see the civil rights movement. It's just like, oh, You mean their grand fucking daddy?
Right.
Like it's like I just like I just always think about like that.
Or their
Like
dad, yeah.
it doesn't take much to make that leap, you know, where you're like, okay, like
You know the worst thing
it's not black people.
The worst thing I've heard white people say is like to a black guy, they say, "You're not like other black people." I've heard white people say that to black people, bro.
Yep.
You know, like there is some black people who act white, and all of a sudden white people start feeling a lot more confident saying things. You know, they're like,
Yep.
oh, they don't like black people, they like you.
Yeah.
Because you accept those things, you know, and those things are okay.
Yeah.
I've heard people tell some jokes where it's like, dude, how do you know that you're not supposed to say that? Like, even if you are a racist, how do you not even have the IQ to know that you're not supposed to say it to these people right now? that it's a bad move, you know what I mean? Now you're talking about low IQ. It's like, dude, if you're a racist, you got to know when to show it, okay? You're not going to be, okay, you are a racist. 12 black people come up. You're not a racist. You get what I'm saying? You're a racist. Man. You're only a racist when there's 12 of you and one black person. Now you show your racism. You know, that's what I'm just saying. If you are gonna be a racist, don't be that dumb to think you can go around and just like openly, blatantly show it, and everybody's just gonna be acceptable.
Just like
when they say freedom of speech. Yeah, you have freedom of speech, but also you can't control the consequences of your words.
Exactly. You know.
So if someone wants to kick your ass.
And it's like, I think a lot of people sometimes think they're maybe immune because the law may be on their side. They're like, oh, well, if I say this and you hit me, that's assault.
I said all the time.
And it's like, well, that guy might get caught and you still got fucked up.
I said on the video. Remember, I was telling you about the one video where the guy's like, you hit me. I know you want to, you know, like trying to entice him to hit him.
Exactly.
So that he can say that to the court. And I've seen another time where a black man like bucked at the guy and he literally was like, oh, why'd you hit me? Why'd you hit me? And he punched the guy first.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't even hit him. And then he tried to flip it around like, already trying to play the victim, you know. Yep. I've seen the same thing in with a woman before, where she was telling a black guy, like, I'm gonna tell the cops something. Remember? No, it's two guys. Remember the two guys that pull over on the side of the road, and the cop's right there, and he calls them something. He's like, typical N-word or whatever. As soon as he hears the cop siren, remember that? And then the cop don't come. And then he's like. Goes back to
dropped his ass. Yeah, he dropped his ass real quick. Probably knocked his ass out.
I love it. I love consequence. Yeah. I love revenge and I love consequence. People talk about those things like they're bad, but I love them.
I think that the pinnacle of consequences is the instant karma. You know,
where
it's like you do something fucked up, and then you can see an immediate response to your actions, and you receive your
things did not go your way.
Exactly. Well, I mean, like
things did not go your racist way.
Deserve them to go your way. I mean, whether it be like, oh, you cut this person in line, or you try to cut them in line, and you fucking rear-ended someone else. You know, it's just like instant karma. You bitch.
Yeah.
You know, look at you dumbass.
That's why I still judge people. You know, I seen a meme today where it was like, me, don't judge a book by its cover. Also me. You could tell that bitch on crack. I'm trying not to be that person now. Obviously, that's a joke one, but I'm trying 100%. Not to be that person because I literally, like, my best example was being like, when, like, you know, you're driving, you're doing the speed limit on the highway, and someone just comes flying by and cuts you off. And you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? That person's baby could be on the way. And he's trying to get the fucking baby before his baby comes in 6 minutes. Yep. You don't fucking know what's going on. You can't assume, man. And I'm learning that. That's how I'm learning as I get older.
Yep, exactly. You know, and it's just like it's a whole thing of like, you know, you're trying to practice mindfulness. You know, you're really like
Taoism.
You're really aware.
But listen to a lot of Taoism talk.
You're really aware of you have to be mindful and really aware of the emotions that are arising in you. And instead of being immediately reactive to them, you have to be proactive about them and really deal with them. You know, especially negative ones like anger and stuff that come out, especially so quickly where like that guy cuts you off. You're just like, you stupid bitch, mother, the fuck. Like, but like you have to control it and just be like, you know, it's like what you say. We're like, well, maybe it doesn't have to make you angry.
If your grandma was in the hospital passing away, you would go fucking 130 to be there.
Exactly.
You know, you don't know what's going on with these people. And give people a break. That's what I'm trying to say.
And things happen, but also giving them a break gives you a break. You know?
Yeah, very true. Good way to put it.
All worked up.
Yeah,
I mean, you
very
may have been feeling good.
That's a perfect way to put it,
bro. You may have been feeling.
Give them a break gives you a break,
and then you fucked it, and then they fucked.
I ain't stressing about it now,
man.
Dude, I feel like I would have smoked so much weed because of traffic. I'm always just like, man, weed will help me deal with this. Like, I want to kill people, you know? I'm
Yeah,
just
I hate
like,
it.
man, you fucking idiots. Like, everybody, I'm just like, idiot. But even if you don't have an excuse, like your grandma's dying or something, maybe you're just not a good driver yet, right? You got to learn.
Yeah.
Just like I had to learn,
Yep.
right? I don't know. Maybe you're a rookie driver. It could be a lot
Yeah.
of things. Maybe you got one eye. Maybe you got bad eyes. Maybe your heart's
No,
not feeling good.
exactly.
Maybe you got a shit. I don't
Exactly.
fucking know.
And just because driving doesn't make me nervous doesn't mean it doesn't make no one else nervous.
Right.
You know. So I mean, like, you know, I mean, you just have to be better at practicing that mindfulness because, I mean, like everyone knows straight up like stress and like it has a huge buildup of like I think the stress chemical is like cortisol or something like that, and it's a known fact that that's shit for your body.
It kills.
That's shit for your body.
They literally say like heart attacks brought on by stress, bro. You can lose hair.
You have strokes.
You
from
can
stress,
lose
bro.
hair.
You have a stroke. At 35 because you're overworked and stressed, man.
Stop stressing people.
That's the other thing. You won't be here tomorrow. Use that motherfucking PTO from work. Use that shit. Use that shit. Use that shit.
Use all your fucking PTO. Use your sick time, and then still call out like I do.
Don't stress about work.
Let me tell you how to do it. You're going to want to use all your PTO and sick time the first 3 months of the year, and then consistently still do whatever call out you want to do throughout the rest of the year. And say, you should have gave me PTO. I love you, everybody. Keep checking us out. Korean Zombies putting down Ortega, Lomachenko giving Lopez the word. Let's do it, brother. We're doing it for the Korean Zombie. Hey, love you, everybody. Stay safe. Thank you for checking us out. Hey, Amy, nice seeing you. Another person.
Y'all have a good Friday. Hey.